Hello guys, in this video we'll be looking at a bash script where conditionals is being implemented. The concept is to imitate what a car can do. Um, let's start by opening our script using the Vim editor. We're going to see Vim and then the file name, which is driving.sh. Our script is now opened. So when we execute the script, it should echo this commands, right? It should tell us that we have a start to start engine, stop to stop engine, help to still display whatever commands are available, and then exit to terminate the program. We then have these variables should execute set to true, and then the rest, which is set to false. Engine is on, is driving, is reversing, and is parked, all set to false. Um, we have a while loop here. So a while loop is saying while should execute, and remember should execute has been set to true. So while should execute equal true, or while true, let's do this, right? So the first thing that happens within this loop is that the user is being prompted for a command, right? And then that command um, is stored within this variable, right? Um, then this is where our conditionals begin. We have um, an if else conditional, right? We have if this is true, then you should execute this. Else if this is true, then you should execute this. Sorry, I'm using else if within the bash environment is being termed as elif, but I'll be using else if instead. Um, so if the command provided is exit, which is to terminate the program, right? You should just tell us goodbye, and then should execute should now be set to false. We know which will now terminate the loop. Initially, um, while true, we should do this, else we should um, terminate this loop, right? Um, we have two sections, right, within this conditional. We have a situation where our engine is on, and then a situation where our engine is off, right? Um, so if our command is exit, we should terminate the loop, right? Else, if our engine is on, is set to true, right? Which is that our engine is on, right? Then it should execute this block, right? So if our engine is on, right, and then we have this command to start, right? Because our engine is already on, it should, and then we're still trying to start the engine, it should tell us engine is already on, right? Else if our command is D, which means drive, right? D, which means drive, because our engine is because our engine is on, we should be able to drive, right? So if our command is D, which represents drive, right? Um, then we should be able to execute this block, right? But if is so this is where these other variables come in. We have is driving, is reversing, and is parked, all set to false, because um, when you start your car, you have to um, shift your gear to either drive, reverse, or park, right? So let's get back here. So remember, our engine is on, right? And then our command is to drive. Um, so if is driving variable is true, it should tell us that car is already in drive mode, right? But our um, if our command is drive and we're not yet driving, which is this else block. So if it's driving is true, we should say that car is already driving. Else, which means when we're not driving, right? Uh, is driving, and then we execute the drive command. Then that's when is driving should be set to true, right? Um, why is reversing is set to false here and its path is set to false here is because we want a situation um, where we can only um, be doing one thing at a time. So we don't want a situation where um, we are driving and then we are still reversing or we are being parked. So if is driving is true, right, is reversing um, should be set to false and is parked should be set to false because we just want to be in one mode at a time, right? So we said if our command is to drive, right, and our driving is false, then we should set our driving to true now because that's the command we want to execute. Then is reversing and its parked should be false. Um, Same thing goes for um, R, which means reverse, and P, which means park. If we have a command to reverse, yeah, and then its reversing is already true, we should say car is already in reverse mode. Else, if our reversing is else, which means our reversing is false, right? Um, our reversing should be set to true, and then is driving and is parked should be set to false, and then we should tell the um, the user that the car is now reversing, right? Same thing for park. If our command is park, but our park is true, it should tell us car is already parked. Else, it should tell us else if its parked is false, it should then tell us that it should then set its parked to true. It should set its driving and reversing to false, and then um, echo car is now parked. If our command is help, right? Remember our engine is on, B. So while our engine is on and our command is help, right? It should show you how to drive the car. So the available commands should be D to drive, R to reverse, and then P to park. Help to still display commands, exit to terminate the program, right? If our command is stop, then it should execute this block. While is driving is true and is reversing is true, um, we shouldn't be able to stop the car because our car is still in motion. So it should echo car is still in motion, switch mode to park to enable you stop, right? Um, else our park our command stop should set our engine is on to false and then echo engine is now off. Then we have this else block that tells us that if whatever um, command we've typed doesn't fit into any of these blocks, then it should um, tell us invalid input, type help to show available commands, right? Now we have our engine is off section. So um, if our engine is if our engine is off, engine is on is set to false, right? So that means our engine is off. So if our engine is off and we try to start the car, then our engine is on should now be set to true, and then display um, engine is on, and then the available commands, which is to drive, to reverse, and to park. Else, if our um, command is either to drive, to reverse, or to park, remember our engine is off now. It should tell us car is not on, cannot engage, right? Um, if our command is help, right? Um, this should be the available commands, right? Because our engine is off and you want to know what to do to either start or um, to start the engine, um, right? So while our engine is off, right? Um, sorry. Um, if you can remember, these are the help commands while our engine is off. It will tell you what to do to either start or stop the engine. While if our engine is on, these are the help commands. It will show you how to drive the car, right? Um, so we then have um, a command to stop. If we do this while our engine is off, which tell us that engine is already off, right? Else, it should tell us invalid input. Type help to show available commands, right? So this is the end of our script. We will now run the script to um, see if it works, right? So let's exit the script and then let's um, execute the script. So you can see when we start the script, it shows us um, the available commands. So let's start. Our engine is now on, right? Um, if we drive, car is now driving, right? Um, driving again, tell us car is already in drive mode. If we try to reverse, tell us car is now reversing, right? If we try to stop the engine, because it's still in motion, it tell us switch mode to park to enable you stop. So let's try um, parking. Tell us car is now parked, right? If we stop the car now, our engine is now off, right? Um, if we put our help command, you see the help command it displays um, because our engine is off, right? Um, so if we start our engine and then we do help, look at what it displays. It gives you the guide on how to drive the car, right? So let's stop the engine again. So if our engine is off and we try to drive, it shouldn't be able to drive while engine is off, or reverse, or park, right? You shouldn't be able to engage, right? And then if we type in exit, it should tell us goodbye. Um, this is where our script ends. Thank you for watching.